Hey everybody, we're here with Rory and his workshop. Rory's a rep for the Historics or the M Project Historics. Thank you for taking time out to chat to us.
Pleasure, Trev. Nice to be here, and thank you for coming over.
Okay, let's just start. You've got a number of classes. So my understanding, it's time-based. Is that correct for all the classes, or?
So initially, it was our main class is pre-80 historic, so any car manufactured before the 31st of December 1979. And yes, it's a time-based class, so it doesn't matter whether I'm running a 1293cc Mini or somebody's got a 2.2 litre Escort. You're classed according to the times that you put in on the track. And you obviously, there's breakout times, there's an immediate breakout, or you do a certain time of a class above. On 2 occasions, you will move up, and that's how that works. So that's the main thrust of our class, the M Projects Historics. We've had a series sponsor for the last 2 or 3 years, which has been great to have them on board. We've also got, which we introduced this year, it's been around, but really this year is the first time we've had some of those cars on the grid. We've got a clubman's class,
Okay, cool.
and a clubman's class is not time-based. Right now, we don't have enough cars in that, so although it's growing quite quickly, to be very honest, and they are not time-based. They all compete in one class, and a clubman's class is essentially a historics car, but which doesn't conform to our regs in one or other regard. So it's that then becomes classed as a clubman's car.
So basically, if you put a modern-day engine or something else in there.
Correct, 100% right. And we've got a couple of those right now, and they brought some good excitement to the class as well. It's not for the purists. Some of the purists don't really enjoy it. At the end of the day, we need to try and cater for sort of open the fields up a bit and do what the spectators are wanting as well.
I can kind of understand that class coming in because obviously trying to find parts for the older
Yeah.
cars is getting a bit more difficult and so on.
So it's becoming more difficult to find parts for the older cars. It's also becoming far more expensive to buy parts for the older cars. A lot of the Ford stuff comes from Burton. The guys are buying stuff from Burton. The Mini stuff we get from MED Engineering or Mini Spares, both in the UK. Burton's also UK based. So yeah, at 23 to 1, it hurts. So the modifieds guys, they run some beautiful cars there, but it would be so nice if we could also go to Goldbach or local suppliers and buy our parts from there. Unfortunately, we can't, and most of our stuff is imported. We do what we can locally, but a lot of the parts, the performance stuff, is all imported. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing, I see you've got semis on your car. So all the guys run semis. I've noticed before some guys had slicks.
Yeah. No, the quick cars are on slicks. A few years ago, many of us were on semis. I transport the car on semis, and I run the semis for wet conditions. But I run slicks, which we only put on the day. We keep them in black bags. We keep them out of direct light, and we try and preserve them because they're not cheap. So, but yeah, it's surprising. Some of the guys on the semis are not a hell of a lot slower than a full slick tire. Obviously, those big Escorts run 10, 11-inch wide slicks. And that makes a massive difference. We run a 190 slick on this year, and as opposed to the 175 semi, it is quicker, but not by a hell of a lot. Yeah.
And the Clubman cars, are they limited to semis?
The Clubman's cars can run slicks or semi slicks. Yeah. We've got another class which we haven't chatted about, and that's the pre-90s cars. And we will introduce that next year. Some of our Clubman's cars will actually be pre-90s cars.
Okay.
And they are limited to semis. So they cannot run a full slick. They're limited to semis. No arches or anything of that nature. The rules are pretty clear. So we need to be looking, and as I say, some of our guys that are running in Clubman's this year, some of those cars are going to become pre-90 cars.
So basically almost be like the old Group N. They're not allowed fenders and
all almost a little bit more than Group N, almost sort of the touring cars, but touring cars became out of control as well because touring cars became international regs and that. But yes, probably not very far from. In fact, you're right, Trevor. Not far off from what the old Group N cars, Bridgestone production cars, used to run. So those are the type of cars, and they're around. There's a number of those cars around. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Your field's grown nicely. We were a bit shallow last year. Numbers.
Sadly, we were putting 6 to 8 cars on the grid at times last year, and we've really have grown it. We've got a really good vibe going in the historics and the clubman's class. There's a nice camaraderie in the pits on race day, on Friday practice day, for those who are fortunate enough to get down. And even during the week, we've got a group chat going where we try and motivate people, try and help out with spares and that. And we've put as many as 18 cars on the grid this year. I'm really hopeful, and I believe it's possible. And if you're watching this, and if you're a historics clubman's competitor, please, guys, we've chatted a lot about it. And we're trying to put 20 cars on the grid for the 15th. I believe we could even achieve up to 25. There are probably 35 odd cars around that qualify to run in our classes right now. So if everybody's car was running, and if the guys had the budget to come and race, we could be putting, well, our grid is limited to 32, but we could put 32 cars on the grid, and wouldn't that be great to see? Yeah. So it's always got to be our objective. But please, for the 15th, if people out there are watching, please come along as first and foremost competitors. And if the competitors are there, the spectators are going to come and the sponsors are going to come. And that's really where we want to grow our racing to.
Yeah, just on that, I mean, having a few international drivers come down. We've got the classic superbikes coming down this meeting. So there's quite a variety of different cars and classes and that. Yeah. Talking to Brian earlier, in his class, he's looking to put 22 V8 Cobras on the grid.
Yeah, 24.
Has he got another two?
Two in build, which will be finished by the 15th. So 24 AC Cobras, backdrop Cobras on the grid. It's going to be great to see, and the classic superbikes as well as classic bikes as well. So, I think we do appear to be heading for a good season finale. There's double points at the last meeting of the year as well. Yeah. So there's a few guys that are sort of far ahead, but not many. I think in almost everyone, maybe bar one of the classes, where Sam has really taken class F in that Merc. I don't think anyone can touch Sam there. So hats off to him for doing that and being at every race this year. But for the rest, suddenly double points, 25 points per race, normally 75 points on the table per race meeting. Well, on the 15th, it's 150 points on the table.
That's correct. So, 3 races.
Yeah, that's it. So it definitely could change. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. You've heard about the historics. Anybody interested? Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, other socials. Put a message there to Rory, and I'm sure he'll get a hold of you and guide you how you can join the class. Awesome. Thanks so much for your time.
Pleasure. And as Trev says, if you are interested in the class, give me a call, drop me a message on Facebook Messenger, whatever. We're really glad to help, encourage the guys. If you're enthusiastic about it, the older cars, that's the type of person we're looking for. So,
Awesome. Thanks.
Pleasure. Thanks so much, Trevor.